Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jacoby. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how to get better at volleyball over the summer. Okay, so summertime is really important when you're trying to improve as a volleyball player because it's your off season. Now, if you're wondering what an off season is, that's just the off time you have in between your seasons. So for example, if you're playing, I don't know, high school volleyball and you're playing in the fall, that is your on season, your actual volleyball season, right? And then say you are actually playing club in addition to school volleyball. You're playing in the spring and early summer. Usually some people do play into like now, like mid-July, but you know, most regular schedules are gonna be like from January to like May. That's about the regular club season. So from about mid-May to, I would say, late July, early August is your off season. So the off season is the time where you want to improve the most, and it's the easiest to improve in the off season. You know why? Because you have all the free time in the world, for the most part. Now, some people, you know, have a job, some people are in summer school, summer classes, whatever it is, but summertime is usually the time where you can, you know, get in the gym more often and, you know, focus on things that you wouldn't be able to focus on in the actual season. Why the off season is so important is because you can focus on your individual skill the most in the summer. Because obviously, you know, when you're training with a team, you're not really training your individual skills as much as you could in the summer. You know, you're more focusing on like the team schemes, the offense, the defense, how you work together as, you know, a unit of 6 people. But in the off season, that's when you can really focus on your individual skills, and that's why I love the off season so much, because you can get so much better quick. So my first tip is to stay active during the summer. Please do not turn into a couch potato just because you have some off time, right? Now, what I would do when I was younger, I would, after my club season, I would probably take maybe a couple weeks off, maybe max 3 weeks. So I could just kind of recuperate, get my body rested, whatever. But honestly, around that 3-week mark, I was like, bro, like I'm so bored. I want to play volleyball. So I would just get back in the gym anyways. But if you're not like that, I would say the 3-week mark is like a good rest period. You can, you know, take, you know, chill, do whatever you want, But if you're really like serious about playing in college, like you need to be, you know, in the gym. That's just how it is. And now by stay active, I don't mean that you have to be in the gym like every day, like pumping iron. Now, if you're a college volleyball player watching this video, you know you should be lifting weights. You know that, so like I don't even have to tell you that. But if you're like in middle school, high school, that's not something you really need to be focusing on as much. It is good, obviously, to be active, be healthy, and in shape, of course. But you know, that's not your number one priority as of now. Your number one priority is your skill level. On top of that, you want to stay hydrated. That's so important, especially because it's hot. Okay, it is so hot this summer, it's crazy. So you need to stay hydrated because you're gonna be sweating, moving around, moving about, and honestly, it's just good for you. So make sure you stay hydrated so you don't pass out, so you're not dehydrated, so your skin doesn't dry up. But there's so many benefits of drinking water, literally just Google it. Also, in my opinion, the more hydrated you are, the better you feel, the better you play. It's all connected. My next tip would be to get a volleyball if you do not have one already. I always have my volleyball gear linked in my bio or in my description. Make sure you need a volleyball. Like if you're wanting to practice at home, which I am like the queen of, I feel like I love practicing at home. I love showing you guys how to do that. Having a ball is definitely key to, you know, growing your game, especially when you might not have access to a gym. Not everyone can get into the gym. Like for example, how I did that is if I wanted to get some reps in, I would just probably text one of my friends, or one of my friends would text me like, hey, I'm going to the gym. Do you want to come with me? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. And we had a mutual club, like we all played club together, or we were playing in high school together. So we always had a place to go to play volleyball with like a net, you know, 6v6. So if you don't have that, it is important to have a ball so you can practice at home. You can practice by yourself, and even better than that is to practice with a partner who knows what they're doing. But also, your partner doesn't always have to know what they're doing. Like it can literally be your guardian, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, whoever. As long as they can toss you a ball, you're good to go. If you want more in-depth videos on how to practice with a partner at home, let me know and I can do a video about that. I kind of already touched on this point, but it literally is so important. You need to get in the gym. If you have the opportunity to get in the gym with a net, go. Okay? Because this is just such an important time to practice your individual skills. Like really in practice, like from my perspective as a coach and a player, like we're not really focusing on like, okay, like let's get our serve, let's get, let's practice hitting down the line, stuff like that, because we're really focusing on other things like the team aspect of things. So you really need to get your individual training in on your own time. I feel like that is so important. And also, nothing can replace practicing on a net. Period. Like, you can practice at home, you can practice, by yourself, and that's fine. That's a great way to keep your touch on the ball, to really enhance your skills, and just to keep your skill going while you're in like a little off-season break. But nothing, in my opinion, can match practicing on a net. It is so important, and it's just the quickest way to get good because you're practicing on the real thing pretty much year round, which is so good for you. And that leads me to my next point: is training year round, should you do it, yes or no? The answer is maybe. I think training year round is really good for you, but you could burn out easily if you try to, train year round. That is just because, it gets annoying having to play volleyball every day, every week of every year. You know what I mean? So you do need an off-season break to like kind of mentally like rejuvenate, but I do think it is so good for your skill level to try to practice year round. And once again, you don't have to be in the gym to be practicing, but still you need to be keeping your touch on the ball. So I think people who do train year round do usually end up better, like skill-wise, in the long run. It's just my opinion. But once again, y'all know volleyball is all about repetition. So the more reps you get, usually the more better you are. And that leads me to my next point, is just keeping your touch on the ball. That's so important because, like, let me tell you from experience, if I just came off my club season and it's like late June and I just completely do not touch a ball until August, until I go back to school to play, it will not be good, okay? Let me tell you, like, your coaches usually expect you to come in like the same or better than you left the prior season. You know what I mean? So you need to be keeping your touch on the ball. And by what I mean by that is, like, you can be passing great passes all last season in service, right? But then you don't touch a ball for 3 months, and then you get back in August and you're trying to pass a service ball and you shank because your touch is gone and you have to build it back up. So that's why I'm saying just keep it consistent, and that way you won't even have that dip. My next tip is to watch volleyball. There's so much volleyball going on in the summer. I feel like people don't know that. People are like, oh, volleyball is a fall sport and that's just when it comes on. Wrong. There's women's volleyball in the fall. Also, there's like high school volleyball, middle school volleyball, and college volleyball in the fall. That's like the normal schedule, right? But then in the spring, there's men's volleyball and beach women's volleyball, and this is all collegiate, okay? You can also watch high school, and then also in the spring, there's club volleyball as well. And then in the summertime, there's the Volleyball Nations League, which is professional volleyball, which is so fun to watch. I really highly suggest that to everyone. Oh yeah, I also missed in the spring, summertime is also the new professional leagues that are popping up in America. There's like Love VB or LOVB. Is that how you say it? I don't know. And then the Pro Volleyball Federation. I should do a video on that, shouldn't I? Oh my gosh. Jacoby, write that down, girl. Because those leagues are so freaking cool, and they have like your faves. Like, if you watch college volleyball and you start tracking on who these girls are, you'll start recognizing them as they move up into like the pro levels. And I see girls that I like really like to watch when I was in college, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so full circle. So yeah, highly suggest watching that. And they also stream on YouTube for free. The Pro Volleyball Federation does. I'm not sure about LOVB quite yet. I don't think they've started up yet, but I think their inaugural season will be spring 2025. And then on top of that, this year is the Olympics. Woo! USA. Anywho, I'm so excited about that because anyone can watch volleyball. It literally comes on TV. Volleyball is on year round. You just have to find it. And Jacoby, why is it important to watch volleyball? Because it truly enriches your game, I swear, because I feel like the more you immerse yourself in like volleyball, the terminology, the movement, the sounds, the better you'll be. Like, you're just a well-rounded player that way. And I swear you will pick up on things the more you watch people do it, and the more you'll be like, you know what, wait, I could probably do that, and then you'll try it, and then boom, you have the skill. It's so cool. Watching a mix of volleyball is also so important, and it's so enriching because you can watch men's, women's, indoor, beach, pro indoor, the Olympics, international ball. Like, you can watch so many different things, and you can pick up on different styles of play. Like, men and women don't play volleyball the same, and you can pick up on different things. You can kind of pick and mix and match and kind of put a big like mixer of everything that you want and bring it to your own game. My next tip to how to get better during the summer is to focus on your basic skills. So this means like basically serving and serve receive. These are like the cornerstones of volleyball. Literally, you can't play offense or defense without one or the other. So you really need to focus on having a really good serve and a really good serve receive pass. Now, if you're a middle like me, don't worry about it, boo. You don't even have to pass. But I mean, once again, it's still a good thing to drill. Like I was a middle, but I still drilled serve receive. Because once again, I am a firm believer in playing multiple positions because it just makes you more marketable to college coaches. That's just the truth. So if you really think about it, outside hitters, for example, need to know how to serve receive, especially because you are usually playing 6 rotations or you have to pull back and pass, right? So you need to know how to do that. So if you want to play outside eventually, you need to be a really good serve receiver. My next tip is to get into volleyball shape, and this also kind of goes into play with getting into the gym with a net, because there is a huge difference between in shape and volleyball shape. Because every time, if I didn't get into the gym enough and I got to preseason, like I could tell because I was gassed. I was like, oh my God, because like trying to close the block like left to right, or just in a rally as an outside, like girl, it is so tiring. So there's just a huge difference between being volleyball shape and in shape. Like you can be in shape all you want, run a mile, ooh, great. It's almost not the same on the court. So playing volleyball is the way to get into volleyball shape. That's just the key. My next tip is to set goals for a specific skill that you want to get in the summer. Once again, I said that the summertime is really a great time for honing in on your individual skills. So this is something that maybe you wouldn't practice with your team. So for example, maybe jump serving. You want to get your jump serve, try to focus on that during the summer. You want to start hitting down the line with pace on the right side. Like that's a really hard skill to get, especially as a right-handed person. Hitting down the line on the right side is hard. So that's something that you can focus on in the summer, and you can bring those skills to preseason and your coach will be like, wow, I'm so impressed. Next and last tip, you want to focus on continuing to learn. I feel like at every level someone has something to learn. So for example, when I was playing Division I volleyball, I wasn't like, oh, like I know everything, you can't teach me anything and I can't get any better because I'm already at the highest level. Wrong, that is not true. Everyone can learn something from anyone. So I feel like having an open mind and being receptive to coaching is so important. Like I am sure even girls on Team USA learn something from Coach Garay or whatever his name is. Like they learn something from him, you know? There's different things, like people have different techniques, different coaching techniques. Like you might have a coach one year and then have a different one the next, and they're polar opposites on how they teach the game of volleyball and how they want you to do things. So you're always constantly learning. So it's really important to be open to that kind of thing. But anyways, that's it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for 8,000 subscribers. Hello? Like that's crazy. Oh my gosh. That's like blowing my mind. Thank you guys so much. That is so kind, and I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all next Sunday in my next video. Bye.